Cash flow is one of the hardest things to manage in business. It's an issue when you're rapidly growing, but it's also an issue that you'll suffer from with low sales or poor performance. In this video, we discuss 7 ways to manage your cash flow. So what is cash flow? Well, there's a number of elements. I like to think of cash flow as a bloodstream in a body. If the blood flow and the quantity is plentiful and the heart's pumping well, then as the body needs blood, it's there and it's ready. But if blood is anemic and in low supply or the veins are constricted, then blood will not flow well and the body's actions will be weak. And cash flow affects a business just like that. To make sure we have a good supply, we need to make sure we have these things in place. Number 1, have clear debt collection that's within payment terms. A lot of business owners don't like hitting up their clients and saying, "Hey, Mr. Client, you haven't paid me within my payment terms. My payment terms are 30 days end of month, and it's now 60 days end of month." Well, I'm here to say that if you get into the cycle of not chasing up your clients, difficult things can happen within your business. I've had examples where clients have gone out of business that haven't paid their bills on time, and my clients haven't followed them up. And as a result, my clients have been severely impacted as a result of no money from those clients. There's 3 important strategies in managing debt collection. Ensure your internal processes in your finance, admin, and senior team in the business are attuned to following up outstanding payments and getting to the bottom of what's going on and when things will be paid. Establish a threshold, though, because after a certain time, at a certain level, you need to go to 2 and 3 of the strategies, and thereby employing an external party to help you. That will either be a mediator or someone as a debt collector or a legal process associated with collecting the debt that's overdue and outside your terms. Number 2, do your homework. Pre-qualify your clients and your suppliers. Ensure that trading terms for both are reasonably matched to your business operations. If a prospective new client has a bad history of paying their bills, be careful about taking them on with extended trading terms. But similarly, you might be buying goods from that supplier every single month. Just make sure that their trading terms are aligned to your cash flow cycles and not going to put you in too tight a situation as your operations continue. Number 3, optimize and minimize your stock or inventory holding. There's a lot of businesses that have cash tied up in stock sitting in a warehouse. Think about how liquid it is. Think about how often that stock is able to be sold. If it's obsolete, slow moving, out of date, not the latest model, then think carefully about whether you need that stock on the shelf or whether you're better to offload that stock and have that cash sitting in your bank account, contributing to your cash buffer and cash flow. Number 4, forecast what's ahead. That's about having a budget, looking at projects coming up, looking at activity coming up, looking at potential downturns, looking at the fortunes of your clients and your suppliers in the market ahead. The reason you forecast is that you can identify severe cash drains or tightnesses that may impact your cash flow and the business operations. Number 5, pay your suppliers on time. It's important to have a relationship with your suppliers, but that doesn't mean that you pay them in advance of their payment terms. You've got a bigger responsibility because you're managing your whole cash flow. So pay them on time according to their payment terms and manage their expectations in advance if you foresee a likely difficulty or delay in your payment so that they understand what's happening in the business and that you intend to pay by a certain time. Number 6, ensure you operate a cash surplus or buffer. Now, from my experience, this is often a tricky one and not managed well by businesses because we get into the day-to-day and we don't foresee the overall. We talked earlier about forecasting ahead for cash flow cycles, and that'll identify the areas of surplus cash and deficit cash in your business on a monthly or more frequent basis. It is absolutely critical to develop a process of setting aside surplus cash as a buffer for difficult periods, unforeseen circumstances, where you need additional cash. And if you can't set aside cash, then sit down with your financier and identify an overdraft limit or credit facilities to assist with your working capital and therefore your cash flow at critical times of growth or difficulty in the market. Number 7, minimize projects or activity in the business that puts you in an unfunded position. Obviously, growth is important, but growth for growth's sake, in other words, sales with low or no margin or rapid growth, can put the business in a very precarious cash flow position. The key here is gradual, incremental, managed growth, more so than rapid growth. You like to be able to plan that way. Sometimes it doesn't happen that way. And that's where forecasting things ahead and the cash flow buffer that we talked about earlier become key tools to manage those difficult circumstances. I've got one more critical element to help you manage your cash flow. Number 8 is all about personal expenses. Often in business, as a business owner, part of the business relies on generating activity for non-business activity. Your personal situation, your living expenses, your dividends, your education, family expenses. Be very careful not to load your business up with unforeseen personal expenses that drag money out of the business and severely impact cash flow of the business. You need to be careful to make sure that these are in balance. Otherwise, the business's solvency and cash position could be dramatically affected. So those were the 7 elements in managing cash flow. Cash flow is key, and it's an important issue whether your business is growing or struggling in the market. If some of the elements resonated with you in business, I'd love to hear your feedback. And if you're interested to hear more, I do a podcast where I talk to business owners about cash flow and a range of other business performance and strategic issues. Check out the links below.